Good morning to one and all present here. It gives me immense pleasure to extend you a very warm welcome on behalf of the Santaji College. We all are clubbed here virtually for a webinar on career scope, exploring beyond the boundaries. I warmly welcome today's eminent speaker, Mr. Vikramsingh Pachlore sir, Niranjan sir. I welcome IQSA coordinator, Dr. Neha Sheikh sir. I warmly welcome all my dear students and colleagues. I am very grateful to Dr. Priya Vanzali ma'am, principal of Santaji Mahavidyalaya, for granting me the permission to organize such type of webinar. Do you know our three life surviving essential things: food, shelter, and cloth. But instead of these things, education and career are the second most essential things. If you don't have the education, comfort will not be in your life. If you have the education but you fail to make the career, again comfort will not be in your life. So when you will select the career and how will you select the career, these two questions are very important before making a career. Take time for yourself and understand what you are, what your likes and your preferences. The ambitions cannot be imposed, nor can it be imitated. It is in your hand. What do you want to do with the rest of your life? Today's webinar is all about it. I would like to introduce our resource person, Mr. Vikramsingh Pachlore sir. He did MA and PGD PC in psychotherapy and counseling. He did MA in Hindi and MBA in HR in marketing. PGD HRM in human rights education from Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University. He did PGD JMC and journalism and mass communication. He did MA in English literature and linguistics from University of Pune. Presently, he is the director of Maestro Multiversity Pune. He works as a career counselor, soft skill trainer, neuroanalyst, and psychologist. He has received the Academic Excellence Award in 2020. He has also received Chanakya Shri Award and Leader in Management Excellence Award. Like this, many figures of success in his hand. Now I request Vikramsingh Pachlore sir for delivering the lecture on career scope exploring beyond the boundaries. Dr. Vikramsingh Pachlore sir.
Thank you, ma'am. And it was really a very brief and very sweet of you to make it in a brevity like that. I welcome one and all to a fantastic session and the career scope exploring beyond the avenues organized by Santaji Mahavidyalaya. And I thank the organizers for the opportunity also. My friends, when we talk about the word career, there's always more anxiety and anxiousness in our mind instead of having any pleasures or pleasant things like that. And why this happens exactly? Because we fail to understand what exactly career is all about. Let's take the definition of career. For example, I would like to simply define career as a career is a carrier of life. When we talk about our development and we talk about a developing of a human being and transcending of a human being, developed systematically. We have developed from a huntersman stage to herdsman stage to husbandman stage. We have turned into more civilized format. If you see our evolution process also, we might have gone through and we have seen that how meticulously and how systematically over a period of time we had developed and enhanced ourselves. When in the Stone Age, we were living among the bushes and we're not having the things to go forward for. We were living in the Stone Age and we're just having the time and just utilizing our things and resources to hunt and just survive. Slowly and gradually, when we developed towards the second stage, that's called a herdsman stage, when we started differentiating between a domestic animals and wild animals and how to turn the stones in making the caves, perhaps we become more civilized. And we were moving, taking steps towards a civilization, developing towards civilization. We have turned our stones into caves. We started herds. We started having the going for the agriculture activities. And we started that making even the clothes from the leaves. And we have developed the sense also when we are wearing the clothes of the leaves, we should not stand very close to the goat or the sheep or something like that. So that sense come up. And gradually we developed to the third stage, that is an husbandman stage. What exactly that means, we became more civilized, and that's gradual development from in a slow process, in an entire developing process. That's how the career is also like that, when we have to enhance and explore our capacities, our capabilities, and explore avenues. That's what is all career about. My friends, there's always a dilemma or a perplexing stage where people don't understand what career to choose, when to choose, and how to choose. So here I would like to make few points and put few thumb rules very clear in that regard. And that is that. First, choose the work of your choice. And it is truly said that you will never have to work a single day in your life. If you choose a work or a career that what interests you and stimulates you, definitely you will finding it much more like a hobby rather than a tiring job in that regard. In a present pandemic praxis, that's what you have seen, that people have gone through a lot of anxieties, and every 5 years or 10 years, you feel that there's a layoff or recessions and people suffer from frustration. There's always a hanging feeling in them. Okay, what will happen to their career? What will happen to their future? So there's anxiety about future. And for that reason only, you need to be very master of your subject. You need to have the crux, and you need to have the base know-how that how you're going to exactly deal and fight with the entire system, with the entire scenario. The survival of the fittest is the biggest law. If even we don't agree with the Darwin's on the fittest, but survival of the fittest and finest is the biggest law, and that's what where you have to be, and you have to work on updating and upgrading yourself. And the mantra for that thing is, in a present scenario for a career development or a career choice, is just update and upgrade. So these are the two golden words in a present thing, in a present practice and scenario that you all need to work, is that update and upgrade. It's the era of specialization. You need to keep on working and developing the skills. And that is skill to kill. And the skill to kill all the atrocities, skill to kill all the fallibilities and negativities, that's the essence that you should not work like that. So that's why the skill development is a very first thumb rule, that whatever the capacities, whatever the talent you have, you need to polish it in skill and developing that accord. And the two golden words which I have just shared with you is update and upgrade. Imagine, my friends, that it's a fast changing time. It's a fast paced time in that accord. Few years back, even we would have not imagined that we would have been communicating through this video conferencing or the words like webinar, which has become a daily routine in this pandemic. We're not into praxis, and we're not into the practices like that. Even for the small conferences or the meets, we have to move and we have to carry on, and we have to travel to a long distance places. But through this medium and through this matter, we are thoroughly here and we are interacting and working. So that is really very exciting. So why this has happened, we have learned to update and upgrade. In the same manner, every individual has some talent, some potential. So they need to understand and update in that regard. I'll just use a small example from our medical field, and I think that will be enhanced and clear like that. Few years back, the doctors, or they just were like in MBBS, they were called physicians and surgeons. Then came the era of specializations when we had our PG doctors in MD and doing MS stuff in that regard. We were having a cardiologist, we were having gynecologist, gastroenterologist up in that regard. Then came the era of super specializations. After MD, the DM came, MS, MCH came, and so on. The specializations keep on coming like that. Now, even it has come like that. If you go to ophthalmologist, it's an area of, I'll just with a sense of humor, I say like that. If you go to ophthalmologist and you say like the doctor, I have a problem, he says in exactly in which eye? If you say, doctor, I have a problem in right eye, and he says, no, I'm a nano specialist in a left eye. So even in that accord, this thing has turned up and gone to the nano specialization. So I think first avenue is that just go in and just know what interests you, what stimulates you. Usually what happens, we fail to understand our personality connection with our career. I hope all my friends over here are quite clear up till now, or you want me to speak in Hindi and Marathi also? I just want feedback to raise like that. I hope I'm loud and clear. Has been clear to you like that? I take it as a positive note and move ahead that way. Yeah. So in a systematic and rhythmic way, when we go for the systems, go for the career choice or make an update and upgrade, enhance that regard, we have to understand the personality traits of ours. And how it happens, there are two things that defines the persona or a personality of ours, and that defines that what careers will be more successful and choice in that regard. And that's our nature and nurture. The nature is the basic genetic characteristics that are born in and that we get and inculcate from family and that carries on. And that affects maybe 5 to 10%, not more than that. But nurture, the environment in which we survive, in the environment in which we develop, that plays a pivotal role in developing our careers, because all our thinking, all our mentality, all our thinking process gets carried away by this process of a nurturing. So usually the strokes that happens or the experience that happens that defines and decides our traits of the personality. So you might have seen that people become turn and transcend with the various traits of personality. Some become introvert, some become extrovert, and some are ambivert. So to all my young friends, what my first and the very primary and basic suggestion will be like that, just to make first of all a sincere SWOT analysis of yourself. Like you have to make it very clear like that, what we have to make a SWOT analysis with your weakness, opportunities, and threats, whatever you have, a sincere SWOT analysis. When you make that sincere SWOT analysis, so you will come to know what exactly opportunities and threats you have related to your life and career. What are your weaknesses? What are your positive points? What positive points? Say, for example, if some of my friend is an introvert and he wants, and suddenly he goes and choose the field of a marketing, and he there where people need to be extrovert. So definitely it's going to be a wrong choice of career. It's not that he can't do it. Anyone can just, with a little trading and with the work of things, anyone can do any work or any job. But the word job satisfaction, that counts a lot. That needs to be there, and that will not be there. So after some time, because this all struggle for placement package, I many times in the lectures, and especially the Vidarbha region, I tell that this region especially suffers from 3 P's element, and that is a placement package in Pune. So everyone wish to aspire to have a big factor placement and package, nothing wrong in that. And most of the people feel that unless and until we land in Pune, so we won't be becoming a Punyatma in that record. So that's kind of what you can say, I will use the word taboo over here, or perhaps the prejudiced mindset, it will clear up in that regard. My friends, just keep in mind, people who are not worried about geography, they can only create the history. It is not that where you are, but what you are that matters. If you were to create a history, if you want to create the success, definitely you can create it from anywhere and any account from any place of time. Coming back to the career scope, I think most of the friends and most of the target audience which has been put over here is from the graduation and the post-graduation scale is like that. So that's a very important age and stage where you need to make a very smart choice for your career. What is the smart choice and how to make the smart choice? The first rule is that just please understand, don't get carried away right now with what is going around. Sometimes it is very important whom you choose as a guide. A misleading management or misleading informations or misleading advertisement that provokes us to go for something and urge us to go for something, maybe sounding and maybe appearing very lucrative or very lightning or very glamoring, but it ends in a very foul manner. So we have to make it a very smart choice and a very practical choice up in that regard. If you, first of all, you have to think what I'm going to choose, where I want to see myself after 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Make a goal for yourself right now. When you have a particular goal, and then this starts with the primary, secondary, and tertiary stage.
Niranjan sir, network problem is there?
And you'll be medical college.
Yes, ma'am. He will be back soon. Dear Maestro, you're audible now, sir.
Yeah. Sorry for inconvenience. It's been coming up in that regard. Yeah. Exactly fine scene and scenario that we feel that need to be made very clear is that unless and until we are very particular about what's going around and we don't have the analysis what will work in the future, that things are not going to work for us in that regard. And that's why at this age and stage we need to work, and we need to work very meticulously and clearly on all the aspects of our personality and personality and how we should develop up in that regard. I'll tell you a small story about fill up your bags, and I think that will really help and clarify the things like that. There was one traveler who was just traveling through the desert, and he was just moving from a desert in the nighttime, and suddenly he heard the word fill up your bags, fill up your bags. And he felt very much afraid. Why the fill up your bags is there, and who's shouting that? He felt afraid, and he started running from there. Overnight he traveled. In the morning, when he was there, he was taking rest. He saw in the clumps and the paws of the camel, there were gold coins stuck to it. And he realized that, okay, someone in the night was telling, fill up your bags and fill up your bags. So it was really amazing for him that that gold coins were there and someone was asking. He moved back to that place, but he could not find anything. Why? Because the time was gone. So it's a time right now when the talent says, when the potential says like that, fill up your bags and fill up your bags. If this is the time when you don't work on your personality, you don't work on your persona, you don't work to update and upgrade your skills, definitely you will find yourself in a big bad problem. And when the time is gone, most of the things will be gone. I'll be explaining the definition of time in the later part. But coming back to the main praxis, that what I was discussing earlier, that you should not get carried away. Definitely you should feel inspired by others and putting up like that, but you should not get carried away by the false promotions or propagations, maybe for the loud and lucrative career stuff in that regard. You should see whether it suits to your persona. क्या आपकी personality या व्यक्तिमत्व को वो चीज appeal करती है? And I give you just an example from in one movie. For example, one of the star will say in one movie, let the child become what they want to become. In another movie, he will say like that, make the child what you want to make them. In the third child, he will ask you to become in rancho or something in that regard. And you'll be keeping on something and singing like, give me some sunshine. So we feel that we are all has been not aware. People are not aware about our talents. People don't care for us and people don't understand us. But the basic question here arises that, do we understand ourselves? Do we understand our own talent and potential? Have we really tried to work and explore that things? If not, I think definitely before expecting it from others, we should work it in a very clarifying manner, and we should work to enhance and develop the potential and personality in that accord. Now, making a career choice, I feel it requires more of a vision than a sight. Because a sight can be only a small thing you just see or nearby things, but a vision is a far-sightedness. A vision is a thing, you need to be visionary to decide and define your career up in that regard. For example, sight जो होता है, जो दृष्टि और दृष्टिकोण का अंतर होता है, वो ये होता है कि दृष्टि में जो है, आप केवल दूध में दूध ही देखते हैं, और बहुत लोगों को तो नेगेटिव दृष्टि होती है, they are more pessimist, वो दूध के अंदर पानी ज्यादा देखते हैं. लेकिन जब हम विजन की बात करते हैं, दृष्टिकोण की बात करते हैं, तब हम दूध के अंदर दही भी देख लेते हैं, हम दूध के अंदर पनीर भी देख लेते हैं, और दूध के अंदर तो बहुत हो उससे श्रीखंड भी देख लेते हैं, या हम लोग रबड़ी भी देख लेते हैं। तो जो दूध के अंदर आप दही या रबड़ी देख सके, वो जो विजन अगर आप में आता है, तो आप सही करियर का चुनाव कर सकते हैं। तो आप सबसे पहले ये देखिए, ये जानिए कि आप किस क्षेत्र में आप जाना चाहते हैं, किस क्षेत्र में अपने करियर को बनाना और बढ़ाना चाहते हैं। अगर वो दृष्टिकोण आपके पास नहीं है, तो आप पहली ही सीढ़ी पे प्राइमरी लेवल पे ही अपने आप की हैंड ब्रेक लगा रहे हैं। फिर जब आप ये निर्णय कर लेते हैं कि मुझे इस क्षेत्र में आगे बढ़ना है, तो उस क्षेत्र में लगने वाले सारे गुणों का, whatever the qualifications, whatever the prerequisites, सारी विशेषताओं का, कि क्या क्या मुझे गुण को अवगत करना है, उस पर काम करें। जब अगर हम, for example, you want to become a journalist, and you need to have an add-on degree in a journalism and mass communication that will really enhance the value and that will put the things in a better manner. Short-term career not be taken up in that regard, and that's where the difference of the job and the career comes. The job, you can hip-hop like that. There's a various jobs you can take in your life. For example, one day you are RJ, next day you are VJ, third day you go for some developments, take some small assignments. That's the job, and the things goes like in that accord. But what you mean by career is that it means a consistency, perseverance, and continuity with sincerity. You joined as an, for example, a faculty lecturer, and you retired as a vice chancellor, or maybe a head. So that's the thing that was a gradual development and career talks about. So you should be very particular about that, and career should be in harmony with your personality. If it is not in harmony with your personality and you are not finding it very well, just imagine a guy who is an introvert and more interested in research, he lands up in the field of marketing. So definitely he will ruin the marketing also, and he will ruin his life also. And other way around, in a topsy-turvy manner, if it takes a guy who is more extrovert and interested in marketing, but he has been asked and he's always restless and is put into the laboratory lab where the silence, patience, and more focused work is required. So definitely he will ruin the research also. So right man at the right place with the right attitude and the right training is always good for the development of any organization also. But what happens is that people fail to understand and analyze themselves. That introspection, what exactly they are and where they want to be, here only that problem comes up. That's why we have a multiple tests, we have a multiple programs for the skill development, multiple programs like IQ, EQ, CQ. Earlier it was only intelligent quotient and emotional quotient. Now there is an adjustment quotient and career quotient also, to what career you should choose. So we take a lot, many programs and tests and other things. So that helps an individual to understand his persona, his personality, and guide them accordingly in what are different avenues and where are the areas and channels they can explore their potential and move ahead in a better and bigger manner. Now, coming back to most important thing about career, I feel that people should not feel disheartened or nervous with what has happened in the past. Of course, the past can make an impact, but what is important is future. Maybe in your school days or in the pre-universities or in the inter days, you are not finding yourself quite efficient in the studies, but this is the time that you can work right now in your graduation and post-graduation. Now with the effect from the new education policies that has come into existence, there is a lot much scope than earlier pattern that you can add to your skills. The first very basic things I think I will like to request to all the student friends who are here is that enhance, develop skills, whatever you are, whatever you have, whatever you feel so. And especially, it will be my request also that everyone should learn at least one foreign languages. and one other native languages or one other Indian languages. Because learn a new language and you get a new life. And it also adds and enhances your CV or your job prospectus or the career prospectus within that accord. What I feel an enhanced to be moved forward for. And foreign languages, especially when you see that projects are coming, we Indians have a better revenues and better exposure towards English and things also. Looking at from your interest of choice, if the projects are coming from the Japan, from the Germany, from the France. So, and if you're feeling like that, you should go for a German language or French or maybe Japanese or any of the languages of your interest. But I think it will be really good and enhance, and it adds a color to your CV. That's point number one. I'll make like that. Secondly, don't get settled with one thing, or heavy things get settled. I always say the pure things keeps on moving. This word like that, I'm settled in my life and I'm got in that regard. That sometimes it sounds very negative. What gets settled? The things which are heavy, that gets settled. The things which have a bigger mass, that gets settled. A pure thing keeps on moving. So keep on moving and keep on learning. That's the important thing that you should keep in mind and explore in all that accord. Second, my point is that what I want to make it very clearly understanding that people are quite confused by looking at the career of others and what make them go by saying that, okay, he is doing well. So I always said that इंसान अपने दुख से कम दुखी है, औरों के सुख से ज्यादा दुखी है. मेरे पास नहीं है इसका गम नहीं है, उसके पास क्यों है इसका गम? And this comparison in our homes and family also, people says like that कि उसको देखो वो कहाँ से कहाँ पहुंच गया और तुम्हारे साथ था, या हमारे किसी कजिन ने ये किया है, या some relatives या हमारे neighbor ने ये किया है, and he went to so place or so things in that regard, and that has a thing that you put it out like that. So you have to make the things exactly how the things are working. Now, when you put and understand that careers basically, or the choice of the career happens in three ways. First, it is a natural, second is incidental, and third is accidental. Either the career, by the choice of the career happens is by the natural choice, by the incidental, or by the accident. For example, a natural choice example, doctor's son's becoming a doctor, or for example, lawyer's son's becoming a lawyer and an actor's son's becoming an actor. It's by birth is a natural choice. So there has to be no much working and thinking about it. When we talk about an incidental choice of career, how it happens in that regard, you have some incidents in your life. For example, when you people surf a lot, when you're people so much on social media, suddenly you see some rock stars, some musicians, and you find that inspired by the life. Suddenly you see some philanthropist, some entrepreneur, and you feel that suddenly I need to become like him. So that incident, that stroke to your mind that happens. And we are audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible now, sir.
Yeah, fine. So when we see maybe some person of repute in coming, and we suddenly feel inspired that I need to be someone like him, and that incidents turn and transcend our personality, and we start working maybe for competitive examinations. We go and aspire for MPSCs, UPSCs, or Public Service Commission examinations, and we move for that second career choice. And third is, after natural and incidental, third choice of career comes to us as an accidental career. Accidental career happens like that when we plan for something and it happens something. For example, someone plans to become a medico or a doctor, and and by some sheer chance or accidents he doesn't score that much, or he feels that he has to turn things some because of domestic responsibilities or maybe some financial liabilities he could not complete and go for medical, he enters into the pharmacy or any other fields or maybe humanities or commerce like that. So he plans for something and he enters something like that. People plans to become a district collector and ends up becoming a ticket collector. So perhaps that we can choose an accidental career also. But at the end of the day, life is nothing but thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. So we need to understand that how, when you make some thesis for something, okay, it's going to be like this. Something reverse happens, that is antithesis. And adopting and accommodating to things and realizing and moving ahead in life, that is all synthesis is all about. So the first step that I think I have asked you earlier also, my friends, make a sincere introspection and sincere analysis of yourself. The SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat, what you talk about. Right? And when you write about your CV, your resume, and writing also, things that what interests you, what stimulates you, write the points. Write the pros and cons of you as a personality. For example, you feel that, okay, I'm not very communicative, I'm an introvert. You feel that, but don't label yourself that I can't communicate. Don't write negative. Say that I don't love to. I would love to explore and polish myself in the level of communications. There's the skill, or that's my lacune where exactly I feel that I need to work and brush up my potential. That you work accordingly. And then you move ahead and working up in that regard. With the advent of the education policies, there's a lot and very great opportunities that you have for yourself, my friends. There's a provision for add-on degrees also, and add-on courses and you can add to it. And very professional courses, I think every student should really aspire and go forward for. Few of the things which I will feel up in that regard that you can, the students who are from all the streams, from the commerce, humanities, engineering or sciences, that should have like that. For example, the students from the humanities, if they're interested, that should definitely go for the media creations or the media management of diploma programs as an add-on course. Or we have a dual specializations also, or journalism and mass communications, they can go and explore up in that regard. Very vocational skills development programs are there up in the IT management, in the BPO management. These are the practical oriented courses which helps and immediately make them to land up in a good positions at a good job and working place up in that regard. We have the list of, there are more than 2,718 courses that are in the line and that are in harmony that you can have for as an add-on to regard. If you are interested in the culinary art and shapes like that, you can definitely go for bakery and confectionery. You can definitely go for the cake making, especially in that accord. Small, right now, I think government is also initiating with so many skill development programs in the medical technology, in the medical management, in the hospital management, in the hospitality management also. That can be good and the case that. Students who are specially interested in the computers, in the technology, right from making the games or technology, developing the softwares to software testing, that's a big avenue. But especially right now, what will be coming along with that extra age or the coming in the future will be the business analytics or data analytics that you can really go for and think ahead of in that regard. Add on from that, like that, you have to put on the things and the courses in forensic sciences also there as an add-on that can be given. In the translation of the languages, that is the translation studies are also there. The diaspora studies are also there. We have an age-over for working as an for the social works and other avenues also. The thing is that your interests need to appear, you need to make an analysis and then develop and enhance up in that accord. If that works in harmony, automatically things will go in a more healthy and positive manner. There are also people don't understand a difference between a resume, a biodata, and a CV. When we talk about your, people says that, okay, I'm submitting my CV, but for the CV or a curriculum vitae, you need to have a lot much of work experience, a detailed view and a thorough view of yours and thorough activity channels of yours. especially in a biodata or resume, only smaller brief introductions or basically whereabouts of yours will be mentioned in that line. Or perhaps it's a skeleton. The CV need to be more flesh, it needs to have more flesh, more blood, more brain. So that need to reflect your work, entire workopedia perhaps. And in this genre, where the things people, in the earlier days, people used to say that they are well-read generation or perhaps well-qualified generation. And this generation comes out to be well-Googled generation or perhaps well-served generation. But what information we are searching and with Googling or surfing about, that also is important. Because there's a, though you may call IT as an advanced field, but there's a difference at IT, AT, and WT. That is information, knowledge, and wisdom. So when you have this information, you are literate. When you have a knowledge, you are learned. And when you have a wisdom, you become too laureate. So information is not knowledge, wisdom is not truth, truth is not beauty, and beauty is not love. That's how it has been said in that regard. And remember, my friends, that education is not filling of a pail, but lighting of a fire. So you have to enlighten yourself with each and every day and explore your experience in a right manner. When we talk about, it's a big thing, I think, special sessions on the different branches for the different views and the different career avenues need to be discussed. I think with the economy of time, I would like to come to some bullet points and like to conclude myself in that regard. A good career choice, I repeat once again, a career is a carrier of your life. And a good career makes a better person, and a better person makes the best society. So if you are not happy with your careers and career management up in that regard, definitely it's more frustrating, and that work and job satisfaction doesn't happen, and people turn out to be in a small priorities that government jobs and things or public service commissions. Please go and prepare for it, but simultaneously always keep up a backup plan. There's a plan B also should be there whenever you are planning for competitive examinations also. Don't rely on only one sources. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. For example, if you're planning for preparation for some public service commission examination, simultaneously keep on doing and continuing your educations in the PG, PhD. You have integrated programs right now in the PG, PhDs, and keep on learning and updating yourself. As I told, updating and upgrading is the mantra like that. Don't let the time go anywhere or ruin the things. Just look around yourself. There are a lot many opportunities. Understand the place and the phase up in that regard, and slowly and gradually to the right place and the right opportunities comes to the right people. You need to be very awake. Earlier the saying was that opportunity knock the door but once, but now it is like that you have to keep your doors open. Opportunity is too busy to knock the door, so you have to keep yourself open and doors open and avenues open in that regard. And last but not the least is yourself. What I would like to suggest and request all the people like that, after acquiring all the skills and having all the things like that, you should also learn in presenting, promoting, and marketing yourself. It's an era of presentation, my friend. So you need to learn how you can manage and present it yourself. In Marathi, there is a lovely charodi which I always like up in that regard, and I like to share it over here. Ki mi chindi ghalun sona vikayla baslo, koni bolota yeina. मी चिंदी घालून सोनं विकायला बसलो, कोणी बोलवता येईना. मी सोनं घालून चिंदी विकायला बसलो, गर्दी सारता सरेना. It's a era of presentation. Whatever you need to have, you need to enhance and present and move up in that accord. That's the thing. आपको रेगिस्तान में रेत बेचते आना चाहिए, हिमालय पे बर्फ बेचते आना चाहिए, और गंजे को भी कंगी बेचते आना चाहिए कि बाल बांधने कमाएंगे रख ले. ये this kind of presentations, or when you will have that things, automatically that boost and morale confidence of yours. Is sometimes people have a good stuff of know-how, but they can't put it properly in that manner. Now with the help of technology and everything, there's a lot many things that can help in supporting technology. But at the end of the day, that's a talent that matters. That's our basic talent, that's a basic know-how, that's a basic potential. If you are not having that things, you cannot carry for a long time. So you cannot fake it. You have to make it on yourself. In the era of this all intellectual plagiarisms where the people are just making the cut copy paste presentations, there's a serious responsibility that you need to emerge as a sincere and a humble individual and earn health, happiness, and harmony in your life in a sincere manner. Because by hip hopping here and there, you can be happy for a while, but not for a long time. At the end of the day, the crux, the essence is that the solace and serenity we need to feel, and that comes from all the career avenues. If we go and at career scopes, we go beyond the things. And that's the time, my friends, where you need to grab the time, grab the opportunity. But just like I said and told the story earlier, that fill up your bags, and the time is gone and nothing is there. तो यहाँ पर समय को ना गवाएं और समय को पकड़ लें करके, मैं यहाँ पर समय की एक परिभाषा आपके साथ साझा करना चाहेंगे और उसके बाद यहाँ पर अल्पविराम लेना चाहेंगे। समय क्या है, इस परिभाषा को आप लोग जरा ध्यान से सुने और समझ लें करके। What is time? I'm giving the definition of time, and it should enter to your genes and DNA like that. I hope definitely you all will appreciate and adopt that. Was telling my all seminars and symposiums that regard. इस समय क्या है? समय एक सुंदर कमनीय युवक है, just like a Greek god. Imagine like a Greek god as he is in that regard. समय एक सुंदर कमनीय युवक है जिसका चेहरा लंबे केशों से, लंबे बालों से ढका हुआ है. Just imagine कि he's having the hairstyle, उसके बाल ऐसे हैं कि वो सामने का पूरा चेहरा लंबे बालों से ढका हुआ है और जिसका सिर पीछे से गंजा है. It's a very unique and hairstyle and things like a tonsorial art, you can feel like that. कि सामने बड़े-बड़े केश है और पीछे से बाल ही नहीं है. तो समय एक सुंदर कमनीय युवक है जिसका चेहरा लंबे केशों से, लंबे बालों से ढका हुआ है, जिसके पैरों में पंख लगे हुए हैं और हाथों में छुरी जैसी पहनी चीज है. किसी ने पूछा तुम कौन हो, तो उसने कहा मैं समय. तुम्हारा चेहरा ये लंबे केशों से, लंबे बालों से क्यों ढका हुआ है? उसने कहा मैं किसी को नजर नहीं आता जो चाहे मुझे सामने से पकड़. You cannot see the opportunity, you have to grab it from the front. हम किसी मौके को देख नहीं सकते, मौके को सामने से पकड़ना पड़ता है. और तुम्हारा सिर पीछे से गंजा क्यों है? तो उसने कहा कि मैं एक बार चला जाऊं तो किसी के हाथ नहीं आता. If time is gone, it is gone. एक बार समय चला गया, मौका चला गया तो किसी के हाथ नहीं आता. तुम्हारा सिर पीछे से गंजा क्यों है? क्योंकि मैं एक बार मैं चला जाऊं तो किसी के हाथ नहीं आता. तुम्हारे पैरों में पंख क्यों लगे हुए हैं? क्योंकि मैं सदैव गतिमान हूं. Time is always moving. Whether you are in, whether you are out, whether you are sleeping, whether you are talking, whether you are muting, but the time is gone. The session is on, and whether you participate or not, whether you are active or inactive, समय जा चुका है. हम पढ़े ना पढ़े, हमने क्या किया, हमने टाइम किल किया या टाइम को का बिल किया, ये हम पर है. तो एक समय सदैव गतिमान है, वो किसी के लिए रुकता नहीं है. तो समय आया है, चला गया है. तो तुम्हारे पैरों में पंख क्यों लगे हैं? क्योंकि मैं सदैव गतिमान हूं. और तुम्हारे हाथों में छुरी जैसी पहनी चीज क्यों है? क्योंकि मेरे वार से, मेरी धार से कोई भी बच नहीं सकता. ना समय की वार से आप बच पाएंगे, ना हम बच पाएंगे. सवाल ये है कि हम अपने समय का सदुपयोग कैसे कर पाते हैं, क्योंकि समय अपनी गति से चल रहा है, बढ़ रहा है, और उस समय के साथ क्या हम बढ़ रहे हैं, क्या हमारा विकास हो रहा है, ये देखना ही करियर स्कोप होता है, ये देखना ही करियर मैनेजमेंट होता है. जहां से आज हम हैं उसके कई और पायदान आगे चढ़ के हम बढ़े. That is the real charm of enjoying and developing in the career. I'm damn sure. I hope with this brief and little introduction, this will be an adequate warm up, because it's a very vast topic on, and every subject on very analysis. There is a great topic and a great matter and stuff is there. More than I told you, 2014 extra add-on courses are there and careers there. So we can definitely move them like that, and then we can move forward and set up in that accord. So that's the thing that we all should move forward for and have a good career. And we should analyze and work in a sincere, in sober manners, and work to update and upgrade our skills and enhance our potentials. I hope within time in enough that is given for me, I'd like to take a pause over here. And I thank you all the organizers and coordinators for giving me an opportunity to have an interaction with all the young friends. And I wish them a very happy and healthy career, and may Almighty shower the choicest blessing on them. Thank you very much. Please.
नजर बदलिए, नजारे बदल जाएंगे. Like this, he said, change your drushtikon first, then you can change your destiny. I am very grateful you, sir. Very nicely, you have delivered this information. We have with us Principal Dr. Priya Vanzari ma'am. I welcome Dr. Priya Vanzari ma'am, Principal of Santaji Mahavidyalaya. I request Dr. Priya Vanzari ma'am to say few words on this occasion, please.
A very good morning to all.
Good morning, ma'am.
Sir, I was listening to what you had to say profoundly. Very nice words. And students in such times, pandemic times, need such encouragements. We at Santaji Mahavidyalaya have all these activities for the students with the main purpose that they should pick up the good points, goodness of all such good words and try to implement it with a very sound mind in their life. What happens, sir? Placement cell is very active in our college, and we have ushered in a 50th Golden Jubilee also. During this pandemic times, I would also request my placement officers, teachers, to see that these lectures are a welcome note, but some openings, real openings, which either in the college or in collaboration with any other firm, we can make it happen for the students, make it happen for them. So that sends a very positive note and a sense of encouragement to these students, I believe. Nevertheless, you were very good, sir. I was just spellbound listening to all the examples which you had to give regarding time and everything. Thank you very much, sir. And placement cell is moving ahead, ushering a new era with the coordination of Dr. Nihal Sheikh. Let us hope for the best. It is a meltdown, it is a slow process, but nevertheless, it will pick up. We are fully confident.
Amen.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Dr. Nihal Sheikh, sir, to propose the vote of thanks. Dr. Nihal Sheikh, sir.
Thank you very much. Today's resource person, Mr. Vikramsingh, Pachlore, sir. I was listening to him quite minutely, and I feel he has made a very effective and encouraging presentation. We need to develop an optimistic attitude. That is what he has done. He has urged the students to do a sincere SWOT analysis. Job satisfaction makes a huge difference. It's such a quite convincing statement made by the resource person. He has stressed on a point that opportunities need to be availed at proper time. He said that we need to identify our potential. He also mentioned that career in coordination with your personalities is very much essential. He has urged all the participants to enhance their skills and learn at least one foreign language. I am thankful on behalf of the organizers to Mr. Vikramsingh Pachlore, sir, for such an effective presentation. I also express my deep sense of gratitude towards Honorable Dr. Priya Vanzari, Principal of the college, for providing the necessary guidance and motivation for organizing such a useful webinar. Thanks are due to Ms. Manisha Patil, Placement Officer, for organizing the webinar for the welfare of the students. Hearty thanks to all the respected teachers and students for their patient listening. With this formal vote of thanks, today's proceedings come to an end. Thank you very much.
Thank you.